When we think of crime, we often picture street-level offenses, theft, violence, or something drug-related. This narrow definition hides a much larger reality. Some of the most damaging harms in society are committed by not those who you expect, but by institutions with enormous political and economic influence. This is what we call crimes of the powerful. Researchers point out that powerful actors, governments, corporations, and regulatory bodies shape the very laws and societal norms that determine what counts as crime. Because they are co-writers of the rules, their harmful actions remain legalized, normalized, or invisible. Yet the scale of these harms is massive. Environmental destruction, human rights violations, unsafe working conditions, mass surveillance, and public health crises. In this view, crime is not simply about breaking the law. It is about the production of harm. And powerful institutions are uniquely positioned to cause harm on a massive scale while avoiding accountability. Let's view crime not as an issue of personal morality, but as an issue of power. Who has it? How do they use it? And whose suffering remains hidden or ignored? Understanding crimes of the powerful helps us see that the most serious threats to human well-being do not come from the individuals acting alone, but from the systems and institutions whose actions are shielded by legitimacy, legality, and strategic public messaging. Big companies often tell us that they care about the environment. We see ads with green logos, clean oceans, wind turbines, and promises about net zero emissions. But many of these companies are doing the exact opposite behind the scenes. We call this greenwashing. It's when a corporation tries to look environmentally friendly, even though its actions are causing serious harm. For example, oil and gas companies advertise clean energy, but they are still major sources of pollution, oil spills, and climate change.
To know that your cosmetics are not tested on animals, if your coffee beans are ethical, and how that business treats their people. If oil and gas came with a label, you would learn Canada's industry is committed to producing cleaner energy through clean technology. Learn more at madethecanadianway.ca.
Car companies like Volkswagen have been caught cheating emission tests while promoting themselves as eco-friendly. And in places like the Niger Delta, communities have lived with toxic spills for decades, while companies continue to release glossy ads about sustainability. These harms are not accidents. They happen because powerful industries can influence laws, avoid punishment, and protect their public image. Their actions may be legal, but the damage they cause is huge. Polluted water, destroyed forests, and rising health problems. Greenwashing helps these companies look responsible while continuing business as usual. It hides real environmental harm behind positive messages and smart marketing. That's why it's important to look past the ads and ask, what are these companies actually doing, rather than focusing on what they say they're doing. Corporations aren't the only powerful groups that cause harm. Governments can also create serious damage, and sometimes they hide it behind words like security, public safety, or national interest. When a government's actions hurt people or the environment, and there's no accountability, we call this state crime. State crime can take many forms. Sometimes it's neglect, like when officials ignore unsafe drinking water or allow harmful pollution to continue. Sometimes it's mass surveillance, where people's private information is collected without their knowledge. And sometimes it involves the use of violence, especially against groups that already have less power or protection. An example you may be familiar with is government surveillance programs. These programs are often kept secret, and they violate people's privacy and basic rights. Another example is when governments fail to protect communities from harmful industries, like when toxic water or pollution is ignored because fixing it would cost too much or upset powerful companies. The state has a lot of control over what is defined as crime. That means governments can cause large-scale harm without being treated like criminals. When a government hides information, neglects public safety, or works with corporations in ways that hurt people, the damage can be huge. However, these actions rarely lead to punishment. Not all harm is felt equally. Around the world, many of the worst environmental and social harms happen in the global south, which are lower income countries located in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Pacific. These places have long been exploited by richer and more powerful countries and corporations. This is not an accident. Powerful governments and companies often move their most damaging industries into countries where regulations are weaker, communities have less political power, and people are less likely to fight back. As a result, the global south becomes the dumping ground for pollution, toxic waste, unsafe factories, and destructive mining projects. Many of the people in these regions lived with poisoned water, dead farmland, and polluted air every day. Oil spills, deforestation, and land grabbing destroy homes and force communities to move. Yet the companies responsible often earn massive profits and present themselves as bringing development or creating jobs. This is another form of crimes of the powerful, harm carried out across borders, often hidden from the public in wealthier countries. Even though the damage is real, cancer, lost lives, destroyed ecosystems, it's rarely treated as criminal. This shows how global inequality allows powerful actors to avoid responsibility while the most vulnerable pay the highest price. So, what would you take from this?